Yeah, I mean, one thing. Look, I understand the spirit example. I love it though. It's kind of funny, but why do people love paying full price for things that they don't have to pay full price for? I don't understand that. Why is it a flex to say that I paid full price for that full first class seat and it was $5,000, and somebody sitting next to him was like, "Oh, that's cute. I only paid 850. I only paid 750." Why is it a flex to pay more? There are so many avenues and so many ways to go about traveling. Somebody got a hot mic. There's so many ways of traveling and so many avenues and different options, especially when you have frequent flyer miles, when you have a certain type of airline card, etc. Why not have a conversation like, look, I think we both love traveling, we both enjoy this. I think we should get this type of card to benefit from all the points, etc., etc. I think there's a greater conversation to be had as opposed to I'm not flying Spirit. I only want to fly American, Delta, whatever the case may be. Why do people pride themselves on paying full price for something that they don't need to pay full price on? Right? I think it's too great of an ego thing to say that I got it, as opposed to saying we got this and we got it for cheap and we're gonna go where we want to. I just think that the mindset behind it, the way it was presented to me, I was like, are we really hung up on what airline we're gonna fly out of? Like,
It's a consumer mindset. It's a consumer mindset. The need to consume. And then a lot of times it's, yes, Tony, it's clout. It's I bought this for X amount, so that makes me more, that's more of a flex for me because this is how much I went for, versus, hey, look, I got to the Philippines and, like, this amount of money. Like, I'm chilling. So go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Ash and then
I kind of
Amir,
agree.
and then I got a question for Brittany.
I kind of agree and disagree with y'all. Like when it comes to like me flying and stuff like that, I'm not gonna do first class. I don't got it like that yet. But um, I'm very cautious about the airline that I'm flying on. That's one of like something that I kind of fear. I want to make sure I get to my destination and home safely. So maybe I'll spend like $405 on a flight on a airline that I am comfortable with, but I'm gonna still look for like a decent price, but I flew Spirit one time and I would never do it again. No disrespect, but I just don't like it. It's just I just felt very like afraid. So I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, it's just being a consumer. We're consumers of almost everything. I think that just those type of things, just the same way when you're shopping for a car and you have a family, I'm pretty sure you want a car that's going to that's not going to break down. That make sure the engine and all of those type of things doesn't have recall. So I don't think that is being a consumer. It's just making sure that you're safe and that you can make it home safe and to your destination safe.
Hey, Ash, just so you know, I used to do federal inspections, right? On trains, and it all it all comes to that department, the people that are doing the inspections, because it's a lot of stuff that slide that have a little bit of like leeway, and I'm pretty sure it happens on airlines as well. It's different when you're inspecting passenger cars versus freight because you're carrying people, but depending on the people, people get the job done or they do the bare minimum. So um, I say that all to say is that you can very well be paying for United or American and still have those same issues that you would have for Spirit. Like I believe that them pilots are paid similar. So they don't really care if they're flying a Spirit plane or an Amazon plane because the fact that you're a pilot, you're gonna get paid regardless.
and
And
I'll
it's
have you all
probably
know,
yeah, and it's probably like a low. It's probably not that many pilots, so they have job security. So I wouldn't be so hung up on the name. Now, if you talk about comfort, I can see that. But when you talk about safety, I want to believe that they make sure, especially got things going up in the air. But being behind the scenes, I've seen some things that slide or was overlooked because the person didn't feel like doing it.
Jr. Uh, I I hope you all know that the people who build all these planes is Boeing. Boeing builds all these planes, whether it's United, American, Spirit, they all come from the same factory, the same manufacturer, the same all spec FAA required parts. All of them are done by Boeing. This is not BMW, this is not Ford, and this is not Kia. It's all one company, one broad. Now, the thing that separates all these is their maintenance policy and procedures. I prefer this airline because they pay extra attention to safety, maintenance, and procedures, not anything else. Or maybe this airline has better comfort seats that are a little bit wider. I prefer it for these reasons. But these are not separate entities. These are all built under one umbrella. They just have a different marketing package to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand that. What I'm saying is the comfortability, it's the staff, it's all of that. Like that all plays a big major thing on your mental. Just to kind of sit and be somewhere comfortable on a plane in the air, that kind of can relax me and make me feel a little bit more secure versus me sitting in an uncomfortable chair feeling turbulence and stuff like that. Like, no, that's not good for my mental state. You know, so it's a difference. That's all I'm saying.
Well, shout out to Money Making Ash. Go ahead, Amira, then I'll go ahead and ask Brittany this question. Then you want to respond to some Luis was saying.
I haven't spoken in a while, but I wanted to answer your question that you asked to Aisha, Hink, and Kelly, because you were talking about, I forget what the question was, but the answers were talking about putting all the money into one bucket and so on. I think Hink was the one who brought it up first, and Aisha shared his sentiments. And I share the same thing. And when they say it, it sounds so easy and so good to do, but in practice, it's very hard. And it's something that I've seen that a lot of women don't want to do, because saying, oh, all our money together is good, but living it is living under what the man can provide. And a lot of women don't want to live under what a man can provide, but rather they want to live under, they want to be able to have bragging rights. When you were talking about Spirit versus first class, I thought about something funny, because in our families, we like to brag about how much we were able to get for cheap. Instead of saying like we flew first class or something, we like to brag that we flew for free, or we flew for a very small price, almost close to nothing, and we got the best. We don't, about the bragging and the money. It's seen differently. We like to brag about all the money we were able to save. The other thing was, in Arabic, we have a saying. The saying is rahis wagawi. Rahis wagawi means cheap and strong. Cheap and strong. So my father, when we used to go shopping, we would go to like stores, like some department stores. We'd go to Burlington or something like that. I like Ross. I love Ross. It was my favorite store as a kid. And my baba would say, like, you don't want something more, expensive? And I always say no. And he said, Amira, you're the type of girl who's rahis wagawi, which is strong and cheap. But anyway, but strong and cheap is the same thing when it applies to life and living together in a family. When we were talking about men providing a woman's lifestyle, a lot of women today feel that the lifestyle comes with an iPhone. The lifestyle comes with a car that is something to brag about. The lifestyle comes with a closet full of heels and shoes and so on. The lifestyle comes with all of the extra luxuries. But if their man is not able to provide all those luxuries, then they are displeased, unhappy, ungrateful, and upset. And a lot of times they refuse to do their wifely duties because they feel like their man isn't doing his husbandly duties, because he's not providing her a luxury lifestyle.